Something's coming. Something we've never seen before.
What intrigued me was the origin story. And to be voicing Optimus Prime is another level. He begins as Orion Pax, as a worker in the mines. This is his journey to becoming the all-powerful, all-knowing Optimus Prime.
The pantheon that is Transformers. We want to see where they started.
Sounds incredible.
We want to see what Cybertron looked like.
It's beautiful.
And how D16 became one of the greatest arch nemesis of all time.
It really is about a friendship where the two of them become enemies. This film has an incredible cast. There's Scarlett Johansson as Elita.
It does have a nice ring to it.
Scarlett brings Scarlett to the role.
She is strong and she's tough.
Brian Tyree Henry as D16.
We get to see the absolute beginning of Optimus and Megatron.
If we survive this, I'm gonna kill you! I accept those
The
terms.
fact that they were actually best friends.
Keegan-Michael Key plays B,
Yes!
also known as Badassatron.
Over the last few movies, he's almost like a silent movie star.
Oh, thank you.
But now we get to imbue him through his voice.
I need wheels!
Laurence Fishburne plays Alpha Trion.
I see strength in you.
John Hamm is Sentinel Prime.
I think we all deserve a little fun.
Steve Buscemi is Starscream.
Look, that's Starscream.
Silence!
We get to see all these characters be elevated in a completely different way than we've seen them before.
Which was a lot of fun.
Holy Primus.
That was awesome! We're Transformers! We are Transformers! Roll out!
John Hamm is Sentinel Prime.
We all deserve a little fun.
Feels fantastic to be officially part of the Transformers franchise. The character I play is Orion Pax, who some may know is the individual who becomes Optimus Prime.
We are more than meets the eye.
What intrigued me was the origin story. Two best friends, they become enemies, and then the birth of a hero. This is his journey to becoming the all-powerful Optimus Prime that we love.
How do we use these things? Just try. Where's my head? Guys, I can't find my head. This is not faster! And transform! Look, wheels! I need wheels!
Yeah!
Oh, that was awesome!
Yes! We can transform!
That's what I'm talking about! It was so exciting to be a part of this Transformers film as a mom. I loved the script. It like ignites the kid in me, and so I think parents would appreciate that, but it's also just really fun.
Yes!
A new generation's gonna get to experience Transformers in a whole new way. That's what I'm talking about! It's gonna be awesome.
I really enjoyed being able to give Bumblebee a voice. Oh, I'm B-127, but you can call me
Badassatron.
We're gonna call you B.
Over the last few movies, he speaks through the radio inside of the Volkswagen, which I thought was so cool.
And transform! I need wheels!
But now we get to imbue him with personality through his voice. And I was really honored that I got the opportunity to do that.
Yes! Oh, holy Primus!
In Transformers 1. I want an origin story because this lore has been going on for such a long time. A cave with teeth. Nothing scary about that. We have such a sense of who the Autobots are and who the Decepticons are now. And we know that there is this deep, deep history. And now that we finally get a sense of what that history is, I think is super exciting.
Yes!
You know, we record the voices first, and then we animate the scenes based on that. And the animation company is Industrial Light and Magic, ILM, that do, you know, they've done everything. Amazing place. And they were so excited to animate on this show because they're all fans of the original Transformers as well. So In fact, there was animators that were like fighting over certain shots. They're like, I want to do Starscream. He was my favorite when I was a kid. Like, I want to do that one. So they were all really, really, really thrilled. And I went to art school as an animator, and so it was great to speak the language. You know, I knew we could talk about squash and stretch and anticipation and you know, overshooting, all those the terms and you know, it just felt like we were all colleagues. But at the same time, I was geeking out over their animation. They'd show me shots, and they're waiting for notes on it, and I'd tell them, just give me a moment. I'm watching and how beautiful this is. And I had to like step away and go, but it's beautiful, but is that what's right for the shot? Yes or no? And that's what I'd have to really get in there and figure it out.
The first step along the way is to get your head wrapped around the story. And in this case, it began in November of 2021 when I had my first conversations with Josh Cooley. And he presented the origin story that we see now. And it's about two brothers, you know, two friends who really are, you know, great buddies, but through events that happen in their lives, they diverge and end up on very, very different paths because of their worldviews. So the first thing you do as an animation supervisor is to get that story into your head, and then you talk with the director about the various main characters, who they are, what makes them tick on the inside. In animation, we're always talking about the text, and that's what's written or said by the voice actors, and then the subtext. What are they thinking inside their head? How are they feeling about any particular scene they're in? Or do they believe in what the other character is saying? In my early discussions with Josh, it was really important that we lean into the subtext. That's why he wanted the faces designed the way they were, that we, the human audience, could watch them, feel their emotions, and all that becomes layered into the performance that we get out of our team of animators.
Guys, what is that? Is it getting bigger?
Or closer.
Josh, you know, in terms of the style of animation, he wanted it to be handcrafted. He wanted to look what we call keyframe animation. It's not driven by motion capture, meaning Josh never wanted to look like it was driven by someone in a robot suit. But he always wanted the characters to feel alive, that they were thinking and they were emoting. So it's a human story, but done with robots. And we spent a great deal of time in the early development working on the eyes. They're mechanical. They're more like camera lenses. They've got little shutters, and they move, and they've got little doors that open and close that give us more expression in the eyes. That was all done on purpose because our human eyes are so expressive, and we can tell just by looking at someone's face and how they're feeling. And that's what Josh wanted on this.
Well, Chris and I realized that we have the same kind of like origin story ourselves with Transformers toys in that we never purchased them.
You stole them.
But don't say it out
loud. It's a strong word. It's a strong word.
We acquired them by means of, we took them. We took them. We took them. And we have no regrets about that because we still had Transformers regardless. So.
I don't even know where they came from. I definitely removed them from somewhere else.
And then they were just in your possession.
And my mom would be like, where'd you get those toys from? I was like, they were given to me.
They were gifted.
You're not giving them back.
But that was the thing, right? We all wanted them. We all knew people who had them.
Yeah.
None of us can figure out how to actually make them transform to this day.
Put it back together.
You know what I mean? But that was the fun of it. It was just a part of our childhood. And then, you know, here we are adults and it's still a part of it. So that's the great part about it.
I just thought of something.
What?
Some transformations are permanent, right? This is one of the lines that Optimus Prime says. And there's no going back. I think you referenced that. Just like when you transform the Transformer into the truck, it's pretty difficult to turn it back.
It's pretty difficult to turn back.
Oh, it's baked in mythology and allegory. Look at this.
I love that we also just saw you have a thought for the first time.
In my life.
You literally were just like,
We saw it for the first time.
So I remember watching it every Saturday morning with my, sitting on the floor with my brother eating cereal and just all Saturday morning watching all those cartoons. Not going to school. I just remember the joy, that childhood joy I had watching it. Contrast that with, I remember when the 86 movie came out and I was at a friend's birthday party, we went and saw it. And 19 minutes into that movie, the Optimus Prime dies and we were all kind of shattered by that. And then I remember playing with the toys too and how some of them were extremely hard to transform. They were all fully metal back then. And that's actually where that sequence where they're falling down the hill and not being able to transform for the first time came out of my memory of not being able to really operate those toys.
I knew that the Peter Cullen energy had to be evident at some point, and I was thankful that most of the film there was a more youthful vocal quality, closer to my register than it was to what Peter Cullen had done so brilliantly. And that was what I was intimidated by. And toward the end of the film, to really lean into that cadence and I am Optimus Prime, and really kind of muscle my, throat into that position of my vocal cords was probably the most challenging.
I think when we have the death, that moment of just like making the decision that I'm done saving you, that was really heartbreaking, and that was something that I really wanted the audience to feel, because you just have this moment where you realize that this is it. There's no going back. Like, there's absolutely no apologies, and then it will set them off into the places that we now know them to be. And so that to me was really, it still hurts. Like when you say, I'm just like, it's really because like we all know that Megatron has to become Megatron and Optimus Prime becomes Optimus Prime. And so gearing up to that scene, it was pretty difficult. It was just like, it's heartbreaking. So it was just hard to do.
I think the most rewarding, and I'd say it's probably challenging too, probably the same scene was, it's not even one scene, it's like the whole entire third act. I wanted that to really be impactful when they finally become who we know they're going to become, and they finally fall apart as friends. That was something I was really excited to tackle, and but it took a while to get it right, but it was worth it. I'm really happy with it.
Well, I think it's probably, they're close to the same thing in a way. Yeah, I developed the script before Josh Cooley came on board. We had developed the story, and then Josh came on and we kept developing it, and it turned out really great. I think in a way, the most gratifying thing was that moment when Megatron has Optimus's hand, and you don't know what's going to happen. And in every theater we've been in, it's dead silent. And because people are really like, what is going to happen, And then what happens is not usually what happens in that kind of scene. And so I think that was really, our intention was to get to that place where you were going to feel bad for both characters, right? You don't blame Megatron, you sympathize with Megatron, you sympathize with Optimus. They both are losing their best friend. And then shortly after, as Optimus falls, I think that's one of the most incredible scenes in our movie, and the complexity of seeing the inner planet and the kind of mystical thing of that is really, I think, in many ways, one of the most gratifying visual things, because it has such a, I don't know, it's not religious, but it has a kind of a spiritual feeling.
For thousands of years, we have been at war, but before we were enemies. We were like brothers.
You ready?
Always ready. Let's punch in. Hey, watch where you're going.
What did you say? It's not like he can transform.
Hey, Darkwing.
Don't.
My finger can transform. Guess which one?
Allow me.
I appreciate you having my back.
No matter what.
What is that?
Sending location coordinates.
We're under attack! It's an SOS message from the surface.
Fantastic.
It's time to show them we are more than meets the eye.
A cave with teeth. Nothing scary about that.
Holy Primus. I see strength in you. Take these and access your full potential.
He can transform now!
How do we use these things?
Come on!
My head.
How you choose to use this power is up to you. We roll out.
What?
Louder.
Transform and roll out!
I want to help build a better world. Like you said, we can be so much more.
Maybe it's just me, but he's different.
Yeah, no, I picked up on that.
I picked up on that too.
What happened to my best friend?
Burn it down! All of it!
We have to stop him.
We could have built the future together.
I don't think so.
Decepticons! Rise up! Incoming!
Come on!
Awesome!
That's what I'm talking about.
Now is the time for us to stand up together as one.
Look, that's Starscream, and you're Shockwave and Soundwave.
Enough!
Gosh, raise your hand if Wave is in your name. There's a lot of waves.